I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. Let's talk about it. I'm gonna keep it 100. Somebody say, what does that have to do with hair, right? One of the things that again, one of my previous videos, we talked about money, right? Or the charging in a business. Well, one of the things that we do in my business that it's, somebody said, you're giving away a secret. It's not a secret. It's something that we do. It's something that I try to train my team on. It's something that I try to train stylists on when I'm getting them to understand about pricing. You know, one of the reasons why extensions are so popular, and this is not a weave bashing video at all. I love everything about the beauty industry, everything. I have my thing that I do or what my business does, but that has nothing to do with me loving on everything about the industry. But one of the reasons why extensions are so popular is because people see the totals or the numbers that are associated with extensions, and they're undeniable. I mean, your average sew-in, I mean, across the bar nationwide is about $250. Some people go lower, some people are higher, but I mean, that's kind of like across the board, right? So when you hear that number, $250, and you know that 4 clients can get you to $1,000 per chair in a business, and you know what? Right now, let me just pause for a second. There's somebody that's watching this that's cringing because we're not supposed to talk about the money. We're not supposed to talk about pricing. We're not supposed. The reason. Let me tell you how I get over that before I even go any further. Let me tell you how I get over cringing because we got to talk about the business, the financial part of the business. I never have a problem talking about the money. It's because I know I give people their money's worth. So if you're giving value, when, not if you are, because if you're watching this channel, you're trying to build a better business. When you give your client, your guest, value, guys, just like Louis Vuitton, just like BMW, just like the Ritz-Carlton, just like Apple Computers, you don't cringe, you don't budge on pricing because you know you've put the highest quality in technique, in product, in experience into your product. So you don't worry about that. Get over that. If this video does nothing, release yourself from feeling ashamed to talk about the money. Back to extensions. So somebody says $250, guys, that's 4 clients to $1,000. So that's why a lot of people, whether they're conscious of it or not, lean and want to do extensions. And I've had people to work in my business because there's certain times because of our business model, we didn't do extensions, right? There were years that we did. I've been in business for 9 years as an independent, as a salon owner, as a hairdresser. I've been for going on, this is my 15th year, or better, as a hairdresser. There were years that I did extensions. Then it came to a point that I just had an overwhelming amount of clients in color and cutting. But there were people that worked for me, and when I said I didn't do extensions, or the business didn't do extensions, they kind of got nervous because they knew that their money that they had made in the past, right, a lot of it came from extensions. So I knew that was a problem, and I also knew that people didn't want to work in my business because they heard that and they knew that, that was their thing. But if I asked them, was it because you just were in love with extensions and love with weave, or is it that you feel that you wouldn't be able to make the money if you didn't have weave in your game? And a lot of times it was that second answer. I just don't know if I could make the same amount of money if I didn't do extensions. So I came up with this thing that I've been saying a lot lately, been saying it over the last couple of years, is when I teach my staff, we'll literally have meetings on keeping it 100. Keeping it 100, right? So what does that mean? I train my team on how to use the price list to offer the client enough services, right, to where the ticket, right, and this is building a ticket. Somebody said, you're not supposed to talk about this. Guys, this is what we're here to offer value. We're here to offer services. So when we talk about keeping it 100, if you start at $55 for a blowout, right, then we want to offer them more services. We're not pricing correctly on our services. We know how to price extensions a lot of times just because the standard is kind of so out, it's just out there. But when it comes to our haircuts and when it comes to our hair color and our different styling techniques, right, we're not pricing correctly. So the idea of getting a $250 sew-in removed and all I would have to do is rely on my price list of other services, which oftentimes are leagues below, right? You know, miles below in pricing, scares us. Two things I want you to start with your price list. First, I want you to get a solid number on what a shampoo and set is with you, either as an independent stylist or as a salon owner. What is a shampoo and set, right? If you guys are doing natural hair, what's a blowout cost? If you guys are still doing relaxers, which is fine, awesome, you know what I mean? What is a roller set cost? If you guys are a short hair driven business, what is a mold and finish or curl? I would really say that all three of them should be somewhere around $50, guys, in the US. And I say in the US because people could be watching this all over the country, but you converted over. So I said, I live in the South. I live on the West Coast. You know, I'm not really into that right now. If you can watch this video, I'm in Columbus, Georgia. And somebody, even in one of the comments, let the people know where you're at so they can see how far ranging this is and how this levels the playing field. Knowledge is knowledge. Experience is experience. Doesn't matter where you're at in the country. But let's just say the standard is $50. Your haircut, guys, and if it's not here, get it there. Your haircut should be somewhere around that. It should be no less than $10 off of that price. Just your cut. So if your blowout is 40, if your blowout is 60, depending on where you are, I said the average is about 50, then your haircut should be just about $10 lower, right? So just think about that. A real haircut and a blowout, you're at $90. And the time that it would take to do that in relation to extensions, which again, some people can do those fairly quickly, guys, you don't have to only have that. You can crack the $100 mark in services by just compounding or bundling services that are on your price list. Guys, your color gloss, right? Your rinse. Guys, it shouldn't be $10, $5. It costs $10 oftentimes to buy the developer and to buy the color that combines to create the demi-permanent color. Refer back to the other video thinking about money, talking about money. We got to know how much these products cost. And we got to know how to price them on top of it. We got to know that we have to get at least 200 to 300% as a business on top of the products. It can't just be the products. You have to put your expertise on there, and then you have to put the salon's experience on top of that. So your color gloss should be somewhere around $30 if you have a $50 blowout. Guys, your blowout, $50 blowout, $50 short hair molding, $50 rollers, and I'm just trying to go across the board. Guys, you're highlighting, okay? And that's one of the major things. That with hair cutting. Now, if you are a cut specialist, if people keep coming to you for hair cutting, then guess what? You got to put on top of it. Your haircut specialist, people that are really, really good with haircutting, your haircut should be way more than your wash and set. Newsflash. If you're a haircut specialist, your haircut cost, separate from the wash and set, should be more than your set. People, and guess what? They will pay. If you're that good, they will pay for that. Guys, if you're a hair color specialist, it should be nowhere near the cost. For highlighting, half of a head of highlights should be nowhere near your wash and set cost. It should be a lot more. Then you add in the wash and set. If you're highlighting, foiling, I know a lot of us are hair painting now, we're using balayage, but let's just talk about traditional foils. If you're foiling in 2015 an entire head, you listening? It should be at least 3 times whatever your set is. If your set is 50, a full head, shoulder length hair, foils all over, should be 3 times that cost. So now, sew-in money can be achieved through hair color and a wash and set. Sew-in money can be achieved through a couple clients that are getting a set and a cut. You understand that? So as far as keeping it 100, you can crack the $100 mark if that's your bar for a good client easily if we priced better, right? Your treatments in your business are not $5 anymore. Not the products that we're buying. Not the top of the line deep conditioners and reconstructors and a steamer treatment. These treatments, guys, are not $5. So you should really be looking at a $50 set with somewhere around a $20 treatment plus a $50 or $40 haircut. Can you see how that $100 mark as a client, they're not going to pay that? Yes, they will. Let me talk about that for a second. They're not going to pay that in my city. Are there Mercedes-Benzes in your city? Does anybody got Benz? Is there a Beamer anywhere coming in the parking lot of your salon? Anybody got a Beamer? BMW? Does your client have a Apple phone? Android Note? Laptop? Louis bag? Prada? Guys, a lot of times, let me get a little closer. A lot of times, we're afraid to ask for that because we think it's expensive. Not that we think the client thinks it's expensive. We think it's expensive. A lot of times we are afraid to charge our clients the proper price because we think it's expensive. We cheap. Not the client. The hairdresser is cheap. We have never paid $100 for anything. Especially hair, because you've probably been doing your own hair your whole life. So the idea of paying $150 and you're not walking out with a full head of weave, or you're not walking out with a bag full of products, we think it's blasphemy. Right? We are so afraid to charge for our haircut. Let me show you this. You see on my arm? Can you see that? Many of us got shears tatted on our body. Many of us. That's a common tattoo for hairdressers. Some variation of a pair of shears or scissors. Yet we are so afraid to charge properly for what a haircut costs. We'll throw in a $10. Well, $15. Guys, that's not a haircut. That's not a real haircut. Not the haircut you've been trained in. Not the haircut classes I done went to. I can't charge $10. That's clipper cutting. That's not even clipper cutting anymore. A great barber is charging about $20, $25. So how can we be charging $10 and picking up shears? Guys, don't be afraid to charge with great value. Now, as far as overcharging without value, now that's something you got to think about in your own consciousness. But don't think the client won't pay for quality. Don't think they won't do it, right? and it will free you up. Sometimes it can free up your schedule. It can free up your day. It can free up the amount of clients you could do. It could keep more variety in your chair. A lot of times we have, the more we charge for a service, that service may take a long, long time. But I'm telling you, you can get a 30-minute haircut. Let me tell you a good way to gauge it. In the salon business in 2015, you should be getting about $1 a minute for working. That's just me. That's how I think. If you work in 60 minutes, you should be making $60 an hour. That's just me. At least. That's bare minimum. At least if you work in 60 minutes straight, you should be getting that an hour, guys. And guys, you could do so much more with your businesses if we just are charging. So keeping it 100, guys, you can get to $100, right? And just think about it like this: if you had 20 clients a week giving you $100, do the math. If you had 30 clients a week giving you $100. Easy, right? Some of us, I mean, honestly, if you had 15 clients a week, 10 clients a week giving you $100, I mean, it would significantly change what we're doing in the business, guys. Watch your pricing, right? Watch your numbers, right? And keep it 100. Go in knowing I'm going to offer this client some type of bundle that gets their ticket totals up in value now. You're not hustling nobody. Give them a great haircut. Give everybody a great haircut. Give them highlights. Become that specialty salon. Give everybody highlights. You know what I mean? Not give like free, but offer that to everyone, and you'll do less clients, better work, right? By just thinking I'm gonna keep it 100. I'm gonna offer them services that get it there. You know what I mean? So that's just something to think about. Torgano Education, better hairdressers, better salons, better lives.